Welcome to the Morning Download Podcast, your go-to resource for personal finance, economics, and market insights. In just 8 minutes a day, we provide valuable information to help you make better money decisions. Don't forget to sign up for our free newsletter at https://w.morningdownload.com. Subscribe. Let's dive right in. In today's episode, we'll cover minimal influence on markets from the Israel-Palestine situation, MCI Inc., being added and removed from the S&P 500, record-breaking sales and positive stock market outlook for 2024, Black Friday's rise in sales and the impact of mobile shopping, Bank of America's prediction for the S&P 500 reaching 5,000 in 2024, updates on various cryptocurrencies, the benefits of tax credits, and Bill Archer's advocacy for prioritizing care and reducing taxes for improved personal finance and society.
Let's dive into what's happening in the world of finance. Right now, all eyes are on the Israel-Palestine situation, but luckily, its impact on the markets seems to be relatively minor at the moment. Today we'll be looking at a few things, including Black Friday numbers and some tips on how to save tax money. It seems like Americans just can't resist a good shopping spree, and the numbers back it up. Black Friday online sales in the U.S. reached a staggering $9.8 billion, which is a 5% increase compared to last year. So what's driving this surge in spending? Well, for one, gas and food prices are lower this year, leaving people with a bit more cash to splurge on holiday shopping. On top of that, wages have been increasing over the past few years, and reports indicate that folks are more interested in spending rather than saving. Makes sense, right? But let's not forget about the power of impulse buying. A whopping $5, $3 billion of those online sales came from mobile shopping. It's just so easy to add items to your cart with a single tap. And hey, with the rise of the buy now, pay later option, it's becoming even more tempting. The popularity of this payment method has surged by 47% since 2022. Now let's take a look at what people were buying. Customers were into a variety of things, from toys to electronics. So if you're thinking about making a purchase, now might be a good time because companies will begin to gradually remove those discounts. Moving on to some global hits in the news. Nissan is making a big investment of $5 billion to build 2 more electric vehicles in the UK. This is a major step towards greener transportation. And speaking of investments, iRobot's shares surged by 39%, following news that their deal with Amazon is likely to get approval from the EU. Exciting times for both companies. In other parts of the world, Asian markets experienced a bit of a roller coaster ride. China's property stocks took a plunge, causing Asian markets to reverse their early gains. On another note, Japan's service inflation is heating up. Meanwhile, over in China, government advisors are pushing for steady growth targets in 2024 and more stimulus. So, what's the deal with stocks? Well, according to the analysts at Bank of America, they're pretty optimistic about the future. They're predicting that the S&P 500, which is a popular indicator for the stock market and the economy in general, will reach a whopping 5,000 points by 2024. Currently, it's hovering just above 4,500, which is about 5% below its all-time high in January 2022. But here's the thing, the S&P 500 has been performing really well lately. It's already up almost 19% in 2023. And earlier this month, it even had an impressive 8-day winning streak where it rose every single day. Some individual stocks have been shining even brighter, like Nvidia and Meta. Even CNBC's Jim Cramer seems to be on board with Bank of America's bullish outlook. Of course, not everyone agrees. Goldman Sachs, for example, has a more tempered forecast of 4,700 by the end of 2024, which would be a 4% increase from the current level. UBS Global Wealth Management and Wells Fargo Investment Institute have made similar predictions. However, Morgan Stanley's Michael Wilson is a bit more skeptical. He believes that we might see a flat market in 2024. Now, historically speaking, the S&P 500 has delivered an average annual return of around 10%. So even if it doesn't hit the lofty target set by Bank of America, there's still a decent chance of seeing some growth in the coming years. Let's dive into what's happening in the crypto world right now. First up, we have news about the crypto exchange ZipMex. They've recently suspended trading activity in Thailand due to regulatory challenges. It's always interesting to see how different countries approach the regulation of cryptocurrencies. Next, let's talk about XRP. It's been inching up, but there's a shadow looming over its $0.70 forecast. The SEC's upcoming appeal is causing some uncertainty, making experts cautious about investing in this digital coin at the moment. Keep an eye on how this situation develops. Now, on to Ethereum. There's some buzz around whale activity in the Ethereum market. This could potentially pave the way for ETH to hit new yearly highs. In fact, some experts even believe that it might offer better returns than Bitcoin. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on Ethereum's progress in the coming weeks. Lastly, let's touch on Shiba. To hit 1 cent, Shiba would have to soar a whopping 12,000%. That sounds like a massive leap, but is it even possible? It's certainly an ambitious goal, and only time will tell if Shiba can rise to the occasion. So, let's talk about personal finance and how you can save some money on your taxes. I mean, nobody likes paying taxes, right? But luckily, there are these things called tax credits that can help you out. Tax credits are basically amounts of money that you can subtract from the taxes you owe. Pretty cool, huh? There are a bunch of different tax credits out there, so let's go through a few of them. First up, we've got the Earned Income Tax Credit. This one is for low-income Americans and can get you credits of up to $7,430. The amount you get depends on things like how many kids you have. Next, we've got the American Opportunity Tax Credit. This one is specifically for students. It can give you up to $2,500 per year for the first 4 years of higher education. It's a bit tricky to calculate, but definitely worth looking into if you're hitting the books. If you're all about lifelong learning, then check out the Lifetime Learning Credit. This credit covers qualified tuition and related expenses for undergraduate, graduate, and professional degree courses. No yearly limits on this one, and it can go up to $2,000 per tax return. Now let's talk about retirement. The Savers Credit is for folks making eligible contributions to retirement plans like IRAs or employer-sponsored plans. You can get up to 50% of your contributions back, based on factors like your income. Last but not least, we have the Child and Dependent Care Credit. This one covers expenses for the care of disabled dependents and children. Up to $3,000 in expenses are covered for one individual, and up to $6,000 for 2 or more individuals. The percentage you get back depends on your income. So, there you have it, some tax credits worth knowing about. And hey, don't forget that different countries offer different tax credits too, like credits for buying electric vehicles or building homes. Now go save some money. Today's personal finance quote is a thought-provoking one from Bill Archer. He said, "We must care for each other more and tax each other less." Now let's break down what this quote means in the context of personal finance. In our society, it's important to strike a balance between supporting one another and minimizing financial burdens. When Archer talks about caring for each other more, he's highlighting the significance of compassion and empathy in our financial decisions. Archer's call to tax each other less encourages us to examine our tax systems and policies. By reducing excessive taxation, we can promote economic growth and encourage entrepreneurship.
In today's episode, we discussed minimal market impact from the Israel-Palestine situation, record-breaking sales and positive stock market outlook for 2024, Black Friday's rise in online sales, Bank of America's prediction for the S&P 500 in 2024, the uncertain future of cryptocurrencies, and the benefits of tax credits to reduce taxes and improve personal finance. Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Download, your go-to podcast for personal finance, economics, and market insights in just 8 minutes a day. Don't forget to subscribe for more helpful content and sign up for our free newsletter at morningdownload.com/subscribe.